This is Indie Business Podcast, episode 67. Hello and welcome to this episode of the Indie Business Podcast. I'm your host, mentor, and coach, Donna Maria, the founder and CEO at Indie Business Network and the hostess of the Indie Cruise Retreat and the Maker Mastermind Business Incubator. My goal is to help you build a solid business foundation, increase your income, and use your business to create the life you love. In this episode, I will introduce you to Sandy Engels of the Purple Sage in Ethel, Louisiana. Sandy purchased her brand from another entrepreneur 9 years ago, shortly after she discovered that her friends and family members were interested in buying the soap she had been making for fun. As you'll enjoy learning in this episode, Sandy is naturally introverted, but celebrates the fact that being a business owner has given her levels of confidence and self-esteem that she doesn't feel she would have achieved had she not been an entrepreneur. You can get a summary for this episode at indiebusinessnetwork.com/67. I can't wait to introduce you to Sandy Engels of the Purple Sage in Ethel, Louisiana. But first, this podcast is brought to you by the Maker Mastermind Business Incubator, your opportunity to work with me personally in a small group setting to grow your business. Whether you're in the emerge phase, just getting started, or you are already on the move with your business into multiple income streams or a platform involving the evolve phase, your individual Maker Mastermind experience can help you achieve more and stay on track. Doors are open now. Learn more and apply at makermastermind.com. And now let's welcome Sandy Engels of the Purple Sage in Ethel, Louisiana. Sandy Engels from the Purple Sage in Ethel, Louisiana. How are you today?
Hey, Donna Maria. I am doing wonderful.
And Sandy, where are we talking to you from today? Where are you?
Today you have caught me in my home office, just coming off of a weekend, 2 weekends of doing festivals. So regrouping and sitting in the office today.
Oh, festivals. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to hear more about that. We're going to dive into that in a bit because I know you do a lot of those. But Sandy, you are the founder and CEO at the Purple Sage. So let's start off with that story. Tell us a little bit about how you started your business and how long ago and all the juicy details of the journey up to this point.
Oh my gosh. So the Purple Sage goes way back pretty much to my childhood, with purple being my all-time favorite color. And I can remember that as far back as about 6 or 7 years old. And so when I got into soap making, which was kind of a roundabout way, I actually went to a one-day aromatherapy seminar and they made soap there. And that inspired me to dive into a hobby that I had never even experienced before. And at the time, I was really looking to help my son who had acne and using the essential oils and stuff. And from there, I realized that the melt and pour that we were doing was just not creative enough. And I kind of laugh at myself when I say that because I've never considered myself a creative person. But it sparked something in me, and I realized that I could really make soap and make it from scratch and put things in it that I wanted in it, the good skin-loving oils and butters, and it just went from there. And thank God for the internet, because that's where I learned most everything that I do was from
Yes.
the internet. And yeah, really.
And so listen, Sandy, for people who don't know, you mentioned melt and pour and the difference between melt and pour and soap from scratch. For people who don't know, can you share what that difference is so they can really get a feel for why it sort of seems like that was a turning point in changing from being a hobbyist to a business owner? What's the difference and how did that affect you?
Okay. Melt and pour is a base. It's a pre-made base that you buy, and you literally cut it up, melt it, and pour it into the molds. The process, I do cold processed soap. So I gather all the different oils and butters that I want to use. I melt them down. I also, you have to use lye, which is sodium I can't think of the name of it right now. I'm sorry. But anyway, you mix these two together and it
Sodium
creates a
hydroxide.
saponification process. Sodium hydroxide. Thank you. It left me for a minute there. But the saponification process starts before you actually pour it into the mold. So you're pouring it into the mold, then you can create fancy tops or you can leave it as is. And it's you have so much more control over your final product than you would with the melt and pour bases that we started with.
Okay. So that was what was able to help you control things so that you could kind of make the soap that you wanted and not kind of be stuck with a base that someone else had created.
Correct.
And then so how did that evolve into from you having fun and, maybe making a product, to help your son's skin to something that was actually a business? Because I know you actually purchased a business from someone else, right?
Right. I had already started making soap and the Purple Sage came up for sale. And because I loved the name, I pursued purchasing the name and, excuse me, some of our formulas and what have you, and took it from there. And that was what transpired is, you go from you making soap and you get excited about it and you can only take so many baths or showers before you have to really start selling. And that's what my husband and my friends were saying, like, okay, we can only take so many baths. And then you realize you have a business on your hands if you choose to take it that route.
Right. So how did you decide that? Because you'd never had a business before. And here you are with a product that's really good and people are liking it and it's super, super useful, but it's fun. Like it's fun for you. And when you turn it into a business, I guess it still can be fun, but it's also something that you have to do as opposed to something that you decide you want to do on any given day. How did you make that leap from I'm going to do this for fun to I'm going to do this because people are like actually waiting to buy it and I need to produce it in certain quantities?
Well, first of all, it still is fun because the making and creating part is still what I enjoy the most. So I do try to keep it fun. But I had always wanted to have a business, and I looked at it as if I can take it from a hobby and make it a business, then I have something to look forward to for retirement because I had been a stay-at-home mom most of my adult life after I had kids. So I was really looking for something that would bring in a little revenue for myself as well as prepare for retirement. So it was an easy jump for me.
Okay, good. So that was how many years ago too, Sandy? It's been a minute, right?
A few minutes, yeah. That was back in 2000. I started making cold press soap in 2002, and I turned it into an actual business in 2011. So that's been 8 years ago.
It's been like 8 years. So you have, come, that's a long period of time, and congratulations, because you know what the statistics are about businesses. So you have been doing this for 8 years.
Right.
You're still, you say you're not creative, but we know that's not true, Sandy. And you're still really enjoying the most, the part about the business where you are actually being creative and actually making your product. So tell us a little bit about what it is that, keeps you going. Like it's been 8 years and you're moving forward in your business. Do you still enjoy it? Like, are you just as excited as you were, all those years ago today?
I would have to say, for the most part, yes. It's like anything else; the newness does wear off. But when you go through the processes, once you get past the hobby stage and it's fun, then you have to put procedures in place to keep the business moving forward. And once those are established, then it becomes fun again. but it's that process. So that's kind of what keeps it fresh, is making sure the systems are in place, and that I do have time to be creative.
Well, let's talk about that a little bit too, Sandy, because I always say that like the success is in the systems, and we need to have systems in our businesses. So tell me a little bit about like what are your most trusted systems in your business? What do you rely on the most in terms of systems to make things happen?
I am very old-fashioned, and so I have a planner that I keep everything recorded in, and that's what keeps me moving forward. I have attempted some of the digital things that keep you organized and what have you, and I just prefer pen and paper, so I use my planner religiously.
So is that where you put all of your everything from the things that you make in your recipes to actually the systems, like the marketing systems and, all the other systems that you have in your business? Are they all in a planner?
The more about the marketing system, social media, when I'm going to be making products and stuff, that goes in the planner. As far as recipes and things, again, very old fashioned. I have a binder. In fact, I've told my husband, if something happens to me, this white binder here is gold.
Right.
Do not
Right.
let it out of your hand.
That's so good, though, that you like have
It
one
has
place
all
where you
of
can go, all your recipes. And so if you ever need help or something, people can go see exactly what to do. So we have to ask, what's your favorite planner? Because it sounds like it's such an integral part of your business. What's your favorite? Which one do you use?
I use the Passion Planner. That is my all-time favorite.
Okay. Okay. We've all heard of that. We'll make sure we put a note in the show notes so people can know where they can go to get that. So, Sandy, you talked about festivals. Tell us a little bit about the enjoyment that you get out of going to different festivals, because I know you're in Louisiana, but as I recall, just this past weekend, you were at a festival in Georgia, like a whole nother state. Do you do a lot of traveling to different festivals?
No, the one in Georgia is in North Georgia, and we are in Louisiana. I do that one. It's the second and third weekend of October. So I enjoy that one probably the most because it's out of my element as far as location. And my husband usually comes with me, of course, because I do need help, but also so that we can take a little mini vacation between those two festivals. The rest of them are here pretty much in Louisiana. And the beauty of the festivals, live events like that, is that you can meet your clients face to face. You can describe the different products to them. They can also pick them up and smell them, touch them, and of course that it's the interaction there that you get that makes it fun.
Okay, so Sandy, you just said like a million things that are so intriguing. You did, because listen, so many people are curious about some of these things. First of all, you said your husband helps you and he travels with you. Second of all, you said that you like the face-to-face contact with your customers and that interaction. And third of all, you said you turn it into a mini vacation. So these three things, seem to me to integrate together to make not only a successful business, but also an enjoyable lifestyle.
Yes. It's all about, as you always say, creating the lifestyle, creating your business around your lifestyle. And my husband and I do love to travel. We've always loved to travel. So we get to incorporate that into the business part.
That is, and he also helps you. So is he like a helper when it comes to the packing and unpacking and putting up those booths and taking down those booths? Because I know that's a lot of work too.
Actually, he will tell you he is the heavy lifter. He will help put up the tent and carry boxes. But when it comes to setting out product, he literally pulls his chair out, sits down, and does not help with that part. Because he says that I tell him he doesn't do it right. But, it's all about presentation. So if, this is a running joke between us, if he sets a bar of soap down, I'm going to come back and move it just a quarter of a turn just to make sure it's perfect, so we have a running joke about that. And, people laugh at him because after he does the heavy work, he just sits back and watches me do the rest of it. So
but,
it works good for us.
That is so, it's cute, first of all, because, I love stories of couples who are, running their businesses together. And it's such a wonderful blessing when a spouse is helping the other spouse be successful in their business. Like that is just, I think that is just wonderful because not everyone has that. And it's a really, really good thing when you do. But I love that he knows what he's good at and you know what you're good at. And you let him do what he's good at and he lets you do what you're good at. It's like a marriage and a business made in heaven.
Most days, yes. I would have to agree.
Days. Okay, well, we're only going to focus on all the good stuff right here, so we know.
Sure.
Wine and roses every day, but how great that he travels with you, and you guys you probably tour the cities and stuff together if you have time. I know festivals are a lot of work, so do you sometimes find yourself like a day or two early or staying a little bit later so you can enjoy the sights in the city and have a little downtime together as a couple?
Yeah. We will usually stay, like if the festival ends on a Sunday, we'll usually stay sometimes Tuesday or Wednesday, just depending on what our schedules are, to check out the area a little bit more than just, running to and from the festival.
Right, right. So let me ask you this, because I've done festivals before and they're like not my thing. So for our listeners, maybe some people who are new to entrepreneurship and they are creative, because we know you're creative, Sandy. They're making things, and there are festival opportunities everywhere. Can you tell us a little bit about like how, what sort of constitution do you have to really be good at doing these kinds of festivals? And if there's people out there thinking, what kind of business model do I want to have? Do I want to do festivals or do I not? What would you tell them to consider before they commit to doing something like that?
You really need to be aware of how, I'm just going to be perfectly honest, it's a lot of hard work doing festivals. Because, if it's a one-day festival, you're setting everything up that morning and you're taking it down that afternoon. 2-day festivals, you set up usually the day before and then you take down the last day of the festival. So that in and of itself is a lot of hard work and it's a lot of heavy lifting. But as far as a business model, if you enjoy the interacting with people and not always staying in the studio or in the office, it's a great business model for someone who really loves to be out there and enjoys meeting people.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And so when you look at your business, like from a percentage perspective, what percentage of your sales come from fairs as opposed to other streams of income and opportunities, like online or wholesale and what have you?
I would say a good 60% of my business comes from doing festivals. And that is a lot of festivals per year. And I'm talking roughly, for me, it's about 30 festivals per year.
Okay, that's a lot. Like, are they concentrated in certain times of year? Like I know fall and holiday season is like serious festival time. Like, so how many are in that season as opposed to the rest of the year, Sandy?
The majority of them are in the fall, but we do have, I do have a weekly setup that I do for, it's in a small touristy town, and the steamboat comes down the Mississippi River. So that's I consider that one of my festivals, if you will, because I do have to set up and tear down. So that's a weekly thing that runs from usually April through about the middle of July. And then the actual festival season starts in late September through the middle of December.
And how do you choose which festivals to do? Like again, it's like there's so many to choose from. Do you have a certain type of like a demographic for the festival that you're looking for? Are they in certain states? Like, how do you pick which ones that you feel will be the most successful for you?
Well, I originally started out word of mouth when I started looking at different shows and festivals as, where were people going to get a feel for things. The Apple Festival, that was just one that kind of fell into our lap because my daughter was up in Georgia at chiropractic school. So we wanted to go visit with her. So we found a festival in that area. So, a lot of it's word of mouth. A lot of it is looking at the demographics of what kind of customer that the festival brings in. How many people do they bring in? Is it indoor or outdoor? So there's a lot of things to consider. But if it's one that doesn't appeal to your target audience, then there's really no need in doing something like that. And those sometimes you learn after the fact, even though you can ask all the right questions. You don't find out that until after you've done a show, and it's up to you to do it again, or say, hey, you cut your ties and move on to the next one.
Okay, that must be. Is that a lot of trial and error then?
For me, it has been, yes.
Okay, and so in addition to fairs, then you also sell online. You sell wholesale. Tell us a little bit about how you manage those areas of the business as well. Are they a different percentage? Like if you divide, is it divided up into like three? You have sales from fairs, sales from online, and sales from wholesale, right? So how is that divided up in your business?
Like I said, the fairs and festivals are about 60%, and then between wholesale and retail, it makes up the other 40%. And my retail website actually probably is the bigger chunk of that 40%.
Okay, good. So you have a nice little organized system with your planner and everything of how you're managing everything. So like, and you also, I know you use social media. Like, which social media outlet do you find is the best one for your business to generate a following and to generate sales leads for the online portion of your business?
I use Facebook and Instagram. Those are the two that I'm the most comfortable with, and that seems to be where my audience comes from. But it's heavier on Facebook than Instagram. They seem to gravitate more there.
Heavier on Facebook. Okay, and so that's interesting. Okay, so it's good that you know that though, because that means that you concentrate most of your efforts on Facebook. Is that how you kind of, work that out?
Right. Between Facebook and I forgot to mention our newsletter, that's where I put most of my efforts.
Newsletters are so important. What system do you use for your newsletters?
Currently I'm using MailChimp, but I am switching over to Klaviyo.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Now, why is that?
Klaviyo it's a much more robust program. I'm just diving into it, so I'm not 100% familiar with it,
Mm-hmm.
but it does seem to give you better reports, better integration. It does integrate with my Shopify website, whereas MailChimp, they broke up earlier this year. So that's the other reason for switching over.
And do you love Shopify?
Yes, I do. It's one of the easiest user-friendly websites I've ever had.
So, Sandy, like, what is your most favorite thing about having a business of your own?
The personal growth that has come from owning my own business is something that I never expected. Most people tell you the best part about owning a business is you have the flexibility, you can work when you want, those kind of things. And yeah, that's all good. But the personal growth and development that I have seen in myself is something that I never expected that to be a benefit and to actually enjoy that benefit, even though there are days when it is extremely hard work.
So when you say personal growth, like, does that kind of translate into probably a lot of things, but like confidence and increased self-esteem and so forth? Is that kind of what you mean?
Exactly. And also things that I never even imagined that I could accomplish. Running a successful business in and of itself is an accomplishment.
It is.
That, it just, yeah, it is. And, but it's also, I'm an introvert, and to be able to do some of the things that I do, getting out there in front of people, in particular, and then also, this interview here as well, that's really stepping out of my comfort zone, but it is part of the personal growth that I've experienced, and I look forward to much more of that in the future.
Well, I really applaud you because it is so admirable for a person who is more introverted, more private, to be able to step outside of their comfort zone. And as you said, like maybe doing something like an interview like this, or going, traveling hundreds of miles to present what you created to perfect strangers and give them an opportunity to evaluate it. That's one of the things that, like, a lot of people are afraid of public speaking, or they're afraid of sales because they're afraid of rejection. So to be able to just do that, even though your nature is much more private and less inclined to do that, I can see what you're saying. That's inspiring. I would imagine it inspires other people as well.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I do believe it does. Because personally, I would rather be in the studio creating than getting out there in front of people. But that is such a important part of my business that you just do it. And one of the things that helps me to do it is the morning of a festival. You point out that all these people are strangers. Most of them are, but I do have repeat customers. But one of the things that I do before I walk into my tent is I just kind of stand there and compose myself. And then it's really silly, but I touch the top of the tent as far as I can reach up. And I just tell myself it's showtime. And that's where we go from there. And so every morning as I go into the tent, it's showtime. And then in the afternoon, it's like, okay, I'm off. I can relax. So it's quite interesting.
So you have like this little routine, this little kind of ritual almost that you go through before each show.
Yes, I do.
Okay, well that probably sets the tone then for the success and the confidence that you kind of walk into things with. And because rituals for me kind of have a way of doing that, like they pump me up. I've heard that athletes, if you watch them really closely too before a competition, and you follow any of them, you'll kind of see them doing the same thing to get ready over and over and over again. So it's kind of a similar thing for you, it sounds like.
Yeah, there's familiarity in the repetitiveness of creating. Well, it's another system for me of creating that system to get ready to quote unquote go on stage, or to put myself out there and do what needs to be done.
So Sandy, what did your husband think when you started a business? Like, I know because you guys were married for a long time there's no entrepreneurship in sight. And I would imagine at first he's like, oh, she's making some soap. That's cute. That's nice. I'm glad she's doing something that she enjoys. And then all of a sudden he's traveling around to festivals and, you're actually a business owner. Like, was he surprised? Like, was he like, this is not what I expected, right? What was his response?
Right. He's pretty much always supported whatever I've chosen to do. Because one of the things
I love him.
Yeah. One of the things I like to tell him is that I keep his life interesting. So with that being said, I have to keep his life interesting. So if it means entrepreneurship, then so be it.
That's definitely the job of a wife. We make it interesting, honey. It's not hard.
Right. But he but he has always been supportive. And I can't ask for anything more than that for him to support what I choose to do.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So your product line, Sandy, tell us a little bit about your product line. So if we go to your website at thepurplesage.com, what can we buy?
You are going to find the most luxurious soap you have ever put on your hands, your face, or your body. We also have a fantastic lotion that Well, I'll give you a little bit of backstory. I used to never use lotion because it was always too greasy, and I felt like you had to wipe it off because it never sunk in. We have a product that sinks in, and literally, if you needed to put lotion on and then pick up a pen to write out a note or something, the pen is not going to slip out of your hand. It soaks in so well and is not greasy. And I get that feedback and comments from my clients all the time that they love how it absorbs into their skin. Um, and then we have a little fun product called Tickle Your Feet. It's a peppermint foot butter. And I like to tell people it really works well if you have someone else that can massage it into your feet after a long, hard day. That usually gets quite a few chuckles. And then one of the products that I'm most proud
I'm definitely ready for not having to massage my own feet. Definitely want someone else.
Right. You know, right. It just makes all the difference in the world, and the product works 100 times better. Don't ask me how or why. It just does.
Yep.
Yes. And then the product
you have like collections, like, so we can go and get one of, what's it, 5 collections? What are those collections, and what do they mean? Like there's like ideas around them, right? And
Right. We have 5 collections. It's balance, courage, harmony, stress relief, and wisdom.
And which one's the best
and
seller?
what those represent are
oh, okay. Sorry, go ahead. I'm all excited about which one we should all go and buy now.
Always the best seller is balance and stress relief. Those 2 are my top sellers year round. But each woman goes through different phases in their lives, and the balance, the courage, the stress relief, the harmony, wisdom, that represents the different seasons of our life, because sometimes when life gets really, really hectic, you need the stress relief. When there's something really going on in your life and you're not really sure what to do, you need wisdom. Then there are times in your life where you just want balance. So, and then the courage. There are days where you need courage just to get up and get out of bed and get on with your life. It just depends on where you're at in your life. And so each of the 5 collections represents a seasons that women go through in their lives.
Oh, girl, and all of those seasons at the same time. Pick just one.
Some of us can be, yes.
Every single day is so different. So that's great. Okay. I love that, because as women, that is so true. That, like, one day could be totally balanced, and the next day it's like, I need some courage and some wisdom and some balance. It's just, any given day can change so much. So it's nice. So great to have those options. What fun. And then you have a signature product called the Bubble-O. Tell us about that.
Right. Bubble-O is our signature product. It was a product that I created after listening to what my customers wanted. And basically what it boils down to is most women, myself included, would not take a bubble bath or a very relaxing bath in the tub until we were ready to clean the tub because of the residue that was always left in the tub. So when I created Bubble-O, that was my primary focus, is that it does not leave any greasy, slimy residue in your tub ever. And we used it for 30 plus days straight without cleaning the tub. Okay.
Exactly.
So it's been well tested for that.
Like, what is it?
Bubble-O it's like bath bombs, but it's more of a powder. It has more, it does have oils and butters in it. It has powdered buttermilk in it. So it's really good for your skin if you want to just sit and soak and play with the bubbles, which is what I do quite often. If that's what you mean, what's in it, it has mango butter and jojoba oil and cocoa butter. So generally those butters are heavy and would stay on the rim of your tub, but it does not with this product.
Okay, this is great. So, and they come in each of the collection fragrances. So you can choose, and I've seen the colors. The colors are really pretty when you go to the website. It's a really, really pretty collection of colors. So that is great, Sandy. We can't get Buffalo anywhere
Thank you.
else. And I love that name too. Like it's reminiscent of your Louisiana heritage too, right? That Buffalo.
It is, and it was just a play on, when I created it, it was like, so what do you call it? Well, it bubbles. It's not a bath bomb, so I didn't want to go that route with it. And it was just something whimsical that I could put out there that would help it stand apart from other products as well.
Great job. Great job. thepurplesage.com. You guys have to go and check it out. So Sandy, listen. So here we are. You are 9 years into your business, a new entrepreneur, a new maker, someone who is so excited and on fire for their business. She comes up to you and she says, I am so excited about my business. What is the one piece of advice that you could give me today that I could implement right away that will help me be successful? How would you answer her?
If I can only give one, I would have to say, spend the time creating and gathering names for your email newsletter, simply because it's the easiest thing you can do. It's relatively inexpensive. And if anything ever happens to any of the other social platforms, you still have a business because you own those names on your email list.
But what do I say to them? That's the next question, by the way. What do I say in my newsletter? What do I say?
You talk to them like they are your best friend.
That's good.
And
that's good.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to be complicated.
When I was first starting to do video, I remember the video. I was all nervous, of course. I'm still nervous when I do it, but he kept telling me, just pretend like you're talking to April. April's one of my best friends. Just tell April all about it. And it was like it unleashed this stream of conversation. So all I just had to remember not to actually say her name as I was talking. So that's really good. It's like, well, I'll tell you all about this April girl, then we would have to go back and redo the shoot. But that's really good advice.
Right.
Yeah, pretend like you're talking to someone who knows you and loves you and who you already have a relationship with, and it becomes easier to establish the relationship with the customer. Is that kind of how it works?
Correct, exactly. Because when you be yourself and you're talking to someone who likes, knows, and loves you, your guard is down. And if you're trying to create a business, you either have a product or service you're trying to sell, but when you talk to a friend, it's not selling. It's just sharing your enthusiasm and your excitement.
Oh gosh, that's such a good way to look at it too, because I think we all, if we're honest, have this thing in the back of this like tape that we play in the back of our heads when we are in a sales setting, that nobody's going to care, nobody's going to listen, and I really just sound really obnoxious like a used car salesman today. And so talking to a friend makes it a little bit different.
Exactly, because we don't want to be that slimy used car salesman, because that's not going to sell product or services.
Absolutely not. So what's on tap for the future of the Purple Sage? Where are you going? Like, what's the next 9 years going to be like, Sandy?
That's an interesting question. I would like to maybe create some new products in addition to what we already have. And if that means some products have to be retired, then so be it. But I see it getting into really connecting with modern midlife women and riding that wave with them as we all begin or continue the aging process, and to help midlife women age gracefully. I know, it's just a number.
We're going to end this podcast.
Exactly. Well,
No, but you know what? Here's the thing. Like, I love the fact that we are living in an age now, actually, where there's a lot of resurgence, I would say, about the impact that a person who has some mileage on them, 40, 50 years of life, you learn a lot. And it's so interesting to me to see, and I think I'm seeing this, that society today is embracing that in a new way. Like, it seemed like for a period of time, there was less acceptance and respect for it. But as the years go by, and I think we're moving into a new age of enlightenment where people who have that experience are considered really much more as trusted and valued mentors than as potential, statistical numbers that are a part of society whose time has passed. You know what I mean?
Right, right. And I think you're exactly right. But I think the reason that's coming about is because we are not following in our mothers and grandmothers' footsteps.
Mm-hmm.
And we are, I don't want to use the word demanding, but maybe it's commanding the respect that our age and our wisdom commands.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I really feel that way because it's like, you look back and it's like, you look at women with our experience, our wisdom, our age, and you look back, 20 or 30 years, they were not out as bold. And I think that's what it boils down to is we are so much bolder than previous generations. And so we are commanding that society as a whole takes another look at us and doesn't consider us washed up sitting on the, front porch in our rockers with our gray hair, because I am not going to have gray hair.
Well, and I think because yours is always going to be purple, right? But I think that
exactly, that's why I'm not having gray hair.
Exactly. What we see too, I think, is you said, I think the internet has helped to bring this about because it has extended the opportunities and expanded the opportunities that the traditional workforce has phased out at like age 65. Like, there's a quote unquote mandatory retirement age. Whatever that means. I hate that term retirement. That's a whole nother podcast. But, there's that quote unquote age that is
right.
That is set in there. So many traditional businesses run on that. And because of the internet, we are no longer constrained as a society by what other people have defined for our lives. And we can, as you said at the beginning, like, build a business around the kind of lifestyle we want. And it can last as long as we last. Like, it doesn't have to ever stop. And that is just so exciting. And so your target audience is those people. And so how energizing it must be to really be serving them. So I'm excited about that. And you really, really diving into that for, like we said, the next 9 years and of course beyond, because there's so many people out there that fit that description. And it's a very exciting time for them. So thank you so much, Sandy, for being here with us today and telling us a little bit about your journey at the Purple Sage. And we're just super excited to see what you do next and get that wisdom and that balance and that courage from Sandy. And don't forget to check out that Bubblo, right, girl?
Yes, indeed. And wanted to say thank you, Donna Maria, for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Oh, thank you for joining us. We'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Well, I hope this episode of the Indie Business Podcast left you inspired, motivated, and excited about the future of your small business. Let's quickly review 3 of the most important, significant business insights Sandy and I discussed today. First, plan and systematize everything. It's a basic tip that makes a big difference. Sandy says that she uses a paper planner to write things down so she doesn't miss a beat in terms of her schedule and events. She also maintains separate notebooks with all of her recipes and product processes. She describes this as the gold of her business. What gets written down gets done and done correctly. And this is great advice for any entrepreneur. Number 2, take advantage of opportunities to meet and talk with your customers. While traveling to shows and selling at events is a lot of work, Sandy says she loves it because it gives her an opportunity to sell her products in ways that are not possible online. Standing in front of customers forces her to sell and gives her a chance to really get to know her target customers. There's nothing like face-to-face and the energy that comes from connecting and showcasing the benefits of your products in person. And number 3, develop and maintain an email marketing strategy. Sandy said that if she could only give a new entrepreneur one single piece of advice, it would be to set up and use an email newsletter to nurture and maintain relationships with customers and prospects. I definitely echo that advice, as I have been publishing a newsletter for nearly 20 years and totally agree with Sandy that the value of making this investment as early as possible in your business is really just a no-brainer. Well, if you enjoyed this episode, be sure to share it with someone you know and help spread the word. This podcast is all about the indie business revolution, where people are breaking the mold of traditional entrepreneurship and creating success on their own terms. I'm so excited to be on this journey with you. And if you're listening in Apple Podcasts, won't you do me the favor of rating this podcast? It helps me so much to know that you appreciate the amazing people and stories featured on the Indie Business Podcast. You can also share episodes from the blog at indiebusinessnetwork.com to your favorite social media outlets. I will see you on the next episode of the Indie Business Podcast. In the meantime, break all the rules, build your own corporate ladder, and create the life you love.